It's a very beautiful Sunday evening, and this is the 15th of June 2025. What a way to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers watching us right now. Wherever it is you're watching us, this is CRPC TV, and we're live here in Calabar. My name is Joseph Iang. I'm your host on your number one political show on the TV, Weekend Politics. Now, I'd like to let you know that today is going to be back-to-back political discourse. We ensure that we bring up views, we X-ray opinions still on this show. Now, I'd like you to call your friends wherever they're seated. Call your friends. Let's gather around the TV set as we X-ray political opinions and balance every shade of political thought. So today I have my first guest who is already seated on the hot seat. It's going to be a great moment to talk, about the last 2 years, both an executive, and also on Friday we had the legislature marking 2 years. So we do cutting across the two strata, the executive and the legislature. So today I have joining me a one-time commissioner in our dear state and currently honorable member, Cross River State House of Assembly. So I'd like to welcome Honorable Okon Owona on the show this evening. Welcome to Weekend Politics, sir.
Thank you very much.
And I must start by saying Happy Father's Day to you.
Same to you.
And secondly, I have to say congratulations. You have, two things to receive that congratulations from me. One is now you are the chairman. A few weeks ago, you were made chairman of Finance and Appropriation Committee. You are the chair of that committee in the House of Assembly. Congratulations to you. And secondly, too, on Friday, your arm of government marked 2 years. So I'd like to say the second congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Now, let us begin to X-ray the executive. And on the 29th of May, His Excellency, the Governor of Cross River State, marked 2 years in office. How would you, as a legislature, assess the administration of Prince Bassey II in the last 2 years?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Young. In assessing the administration of His Excellency Senator Prince Bassey II as a governor of Cross River State within the past 2 years, for me, he has done greatly well. And to also say that there is no how the executive can perform, can be successful without having a back-to-back the support of the legislature. Because it's the legislature that does that pass the law, that formulate the laws which the executive implements and executes. So when you have an executive that is working hand in hand with the legislature, you expect to have a good success for the benefit of Cross Riverians. So I want to say the governor done extremely well, beyond expectation of what we thought it would be.
Great. I love that, beyond expectation. Now, on the 29th of May, 2023, when His Excellency the Governor was sworn in, he made a statement, said he was going to consolidate on the gains of past administrations. Now, cutting across the administration of Mr. Donald Duke, Senator Lieli Moke, and Professor Ben Ayade. Now, let us look at that. Do you think His Excellency so far has achieved that desire to consolidate on the gains of those administrations?
Yes, I want to say that he has really done well by kind of introducing his own policies, new policies, cutting across all the spheres of life, and also sustaining the gains of what the previous government have left behind for Cross Riverians. Government is a continuum. There was a time that in Cross River State, successful administration, when they come into power, they come with brand new policies. They abandon projects that were done by previous administration. So with that, there was no continuity. If you check states that are succeeding, they start with their own policy and also carry along the policy and projects that succeed the past administration had left behind. Ensure those projects are completed. Because what do you call it? It's all about perseverance. It was the people's funds, monies that were used in executing this project. So if a government comes and does not continue with the projects of the past administration, it's like getting those funds to be wasted. So I commend the efforts of Frimbasio too for ensuring that the projects that were awarded by the previous government, starting from the government of Donald Duke and Nelly Moke government, is also completing them. Take for instance, about a few weeks ago, as part of the governor's 2 years anniversary, a project that was abandoned right from the time of Donald Duke, the Civil Service, Local Government Service Commission, a very big mansion that was meant to accommodate the entire Local Government Service Commission. That project had been left abandoned by about 2 administrations. So when Governor Chu came into power, he ensured that that project was re-awarded and it was completed within the next 2 years. If you pass by Calabar Highway, you can see the beautiful edifice. I was in the commissioning ceremony. Thank you.
Great. Very well. Now, there was a time in Cross River State that kidnapping was more like an order of the day. We saw people were kidnapped for as low as even 10,000 naira. So, but we noticed that there is a change, in the last 2 years. So, as a legislator, how would you assess the security architecture and the security status of Cross River State in the last 2 years?
In fact, as a legislature, security is key to any government. Without security, even the government itself cannot be focused to deliver the dividend of democracy to its citizenry. So I want to commend the effort of the governor. That within the first 6 months he took over as the governor of Cross River State, I can remember that when the governor took over, within the first 6 months, a medical doctor was kidnapped in Cross River State. It was very, very painful. Up till date, there have not been any record, any reason why such things should happen. But it was as if the governor got so offended about such a scenario and ensured that he galvanized and also upgraded all the security architectures in the state, gave them all the logistic support. You can see it. Go through all the security outfits in the state. The governor has given so much support to the security outfits in Cross River State. He has given them vehicles, he has given them security gadgets, cameras, vehicles, up to going to renovate the housing, the infrastructure in the various security outfits. Go to State Police Command today. You're going to see the entire State Police Command is asphalted and infrastructure is upgraded. You go to the Navy, the Zone 6, the entire infrastructure is also upgraded. The road is asphalted. You go to Civil Defense, their office is being asphalted. You go to even road safety that is here in Marian, the offices is asphalted. The roof that was looking very archaic and out of use had been re-roofed and new facilities, new upgrading had been done. These are boosters that also make the security people, the security personnel, officials also feel that they have a government. So with this kind of support they've given to security architecture in the state, there is no reason why the security operatives in Cross River State shouldn't deliver the dividend of democracy. So the governor have done well.
Okay. Very, very, very great indeed. Now, let's talk about the road infrastructure, because aside other things, security and all of that, the road infrastructure also stands His Excellency the Governor out. Cutting across the length and breadth from Calabar South up till Ogoja, we see road being built by this administration in less than 2 years. We'd like you to talk to us on that.
That's one key area the governor has done well. You know that the opening up road infrastructure across the 18 local government in the state is a way of opening up our economy. It's a way of opening up prosperity, opening up investment. I take, for example, within Calabar Metropolis, before the government took over, there was some series of experiences of potholes here and there that was not attended to. But within the first 6 months of Governor Chu administration, suddenly potholes have disappeared in Cross River State. It has disappeared in Cross River State. Not just potholes, major streets in Calabar has been asphalted. Especially with the new introduction of this concrete asphalting, that from what we are told, it lasts more than a normal asphalting. I've seen a few streets that around that
one at
Nyongedem Street, yes, and about around MCC Street, that concrete asphalting was tested, and for me it's standing a test of time. beyond Calabar Metropole, my own local government, Akampa, we have a road that project was awarded by the federal government over 4 decades ago. They call it Akampa Urban Nsan Road, a 29.8 kilometer road that was meant to connect the people of Akampa 1 and Akampa 2 constituency. Akampa is the largest local government in Cross River State. But we were living as if we were in two different states. You need to travel for about over 12 hours for you to be able to connect our own brothers in constituency too. That project was federal government project. At a point, it disappeared from the federal budget. But it takes a man that fears God, a man that has his people at hand, to have taken over the federal government project, award it, not only awarding it to an indigenous contractor, Faith Plan Global Services, who is also from Akampa. I can tell you, almost earth work is near completion in that road, and asphalting had commenced. Drainages have been done over 80%. There's one bridge that is there that is supposed to cross the Calabar, the Kwa River Bridge, is undergoing construction. This one project that the government has done for the people of Akampa is a mind-touching project that the people of Akampa are celebrating him all the time. And I'm aware that even within other local government, across the 18 local government, there is no local government the governor have not awarded road on contract. All the works are going on concurrently. In Orobo Ubra, there's road network in Yako, in Ikom, up to Yalaukele Road, up to Ogoja, even the airport, the airport is part of infrastructure that the governor also taken over from the previous administration of Senator Ben Ayade, which is, we are sure that in the next few months that airport should be completed and put into use. So sustaining on the gains of democracy, the governor have done eminently well. Let me be selfish. When the governor came for campaign in Akampa local government, he promised Akampa local government 3 cardinal things among others. If I become the governor of Cross River State first, I will upgrade the University of the College of Education Akampa to a degree awarding institution called University of Education Entrepreneurship. I will construct the 29 kilometers of Bansa Road. Okay, I will give Akampa electricity and other road networks around the Sangi Young area. Within the first 2 years, he had delivered the first 3 projects. The upgrading of University of Education, College of Education from College of Education to University of Education Entrepreneurship. They just did that matriculation last week, and over 3,000 students were admitted in that school, in that university. You can see this is progress in action. Okay, and other infrastructure.
Great. Now let me quickly butt in there. Yesterday at the government house, you were one of those that witnessed the signing of the asset sales agreement between the Cross River State government and the Biase Plantations Limited. Now let's look at the area of agriculture. This administration, how would you assess this administration in terms of agriculture in the last 2 years?
Well, I want to say that Cross River State is an agrarian society. I remember when I was a little boy in secondary school, I was made to know that the economy of Cross River State was being run by the IGR that was being netted from the agricultural sector before the advent of oil. But over time, most of these plantations and estate, some of them were being leased out for 99 years, some for life by previous administration. This particular one you have mentioned, Enort Industry, by then was called Cross River State Estate Limited. Okay, Cross River State Estate Limited was established by a loan sum that was collected by Cross River State by the then CDC. Okay, Commonwealth Development Company. That was a fund that was used to develop that estate. But some administration, when they came into power, they leased it for 99 years. And then the conditions that were embedded in the lease agreement, even 1% were not met up by these investors, Enhot Nigeria Limited. The estate became more moribund and worse. The situation was worsened. Nothing was happening there. So you see, it takes a governor that has a good thinking for his people to have looked into it to ensure that he gives fresh life to such estate by terminating and revoking such a contract, such a lease, and giving of a new lease of life by leasing part of the estate out to Wilmar Plantation. I was part of the agreement signing ceremony. I witnessed it. Yeah. We see what Wilmar is doing in Kalaro Estate, in the then Kalaro Estate now. They are employing over 5,000 perseverance there, and the estate is viable. So if Wilmar transcend what they are doing in Wilmar Plantation also to Ehud Plantation, then Cross River State is going to be great. But what the governor insisted yesterday was that Wilmar should not only end up in just exploiting our land. If they are cultivating oil palm, they should make sure that the end product, which is refining the crude palm oil to a finished product, is done in Akamkwa local government. That will create value addition to our people. You promote also the economy of Cross River State. That Cross River State government will also participate in making wealth from it.
Absolutely.
So the governor have done incredibly well.
Absolutely, in agriculture.
Yeah.
Okay, now 2 years down the line and 2 more to go in the first term. What would be your advice before we jump on the legislature? What would be your advice? 2 years looking for, what do you look at for the next 2 years remaining in this first term?
Well, what I will look at the next 2 years, my wish for the governor is that he had awarded so many contracts in the past 2 years. He should ensure that he sustains to ensure that those contracts are awarded. I know he has his People First mantra policy framework. But you know, because of the paucity of funds we suffer in Cross River State, you can't do all the project at all the time. There should be a systematic program that you take this project stage by stage and ensure that any project that is embarked on is completed on timeline to give you for another project being awarded. Across the state, I don't think there's any local government in Cross River State that is complaining that the government have not awarded projects so far. Okay. So I also want to encourage the governor to also, the area the governor can empower the use of Cross River State is the area of agriculture. I'm aware the Ministry of Agriculture is doing well. They have subsidized, they are giving out exported oil palm nut at the very subsidized rates. The state government have also intervened in coffee and cocoa production. If this is done, and the people of Cross River State, these seedlings are given at subsidized rates, and the Ministry of Agriculture give what they call the agricultural technical backstopping, and some grants and loans are given to support the farmers. I can bet you Cross River State will create self-employment. A time will come where our indigenes will not be looking for white-collar job again. They will be self-sustaining. Okay. Thank you very much.
Right, so Honorable Wuna, on Friday, 13th of June, the legislature across the 36 states marked their second year in office. So I'd like you to talk to us. How has it been in the last 2 years of your legislature life?
Well, I'm talking as somebody who has gained experience from the executive arm of government and now in the legislature. The past 8 years I've been in the executive. I was the Director General of Rural Development Agency of during Benin government. The second year I was made Commissioner of Agriculture. So now I'm in the legislature. I think the symbiotic relationship that is existing between the legislature and the executive is what has given room for this success so far. Within the past 2 years, the legislature have passed about 30 bills that have been signed into law under the leadership of Right Honorable Elvet Ayambe. He has done so well as a legislature. We have also done so well. I can hit my chest to say that in the whole Nigeria, in the whole 36 states, there is no legislature in the entire 36 states that can surpass the record of what Cross River State 10th Assembly has done in terms of legislative success by passing of bills into law and the resolution that we have passed to assist the executive implement. And I know that a lot of the resolutions we have passed also, the governor is implementing them. Some of them, budgetary provision have been made for them. So as legislators, we need to pass good bills to give the executive the enabling powers, especially fund bills, to give finance bills, to give the legislature, the executive enabling grounds for them to implement, to execute some of these projects.
Now, talking of bills, Honorable, I remember that the 9th Assembly had less than 15 bills in the whole 4 years. But this 10th Assembly, in less than 2 years, they've passed 30 bills. I'd like you to talk to us on that, because cross-variants are seen that as a big thing. So could you talk to us on that? 30 bills in 2 years. This is quite unprecedented.
Well, it's because of the leadership structure. I know there's no how you can have a legislature without having some level of disagreement. But you cannot also have if legislators don't agree, it's disagreement that makes them align properly. I want to put it to all cross-variants that the little fracas that happened in the legislature about few months ago was meant to align us properly. The leadership structure of the Cross-River 10th Assembly is superb. Our leader is doing well. All the members are also giving him all the supports. We're also drawing some good supports too from the executive arm of government, because they have to be this symbiotic relationship. People used to think that in the old political theory that legislature has independence, even though we have some level of independence, but we need to synergize with the executive to see that we ensure that the dividend of democracy is being delivered to our own people.
So talking of the challenge you had last year, it's about a year and a month now. So are you telling us that the assembly is on the same page now, everybody?
Assembly is one now. Under the leadership of Right Honorable Ayambe.
Absolutely. Now just the last bit one. We'd like to find out, how is the relationship between the executive and the legislature?
Well, like I said, a very small one. There is no bill that the executive bill that is sent by the executive that the legislature are allowed to last more than 2 years, more than 2 weeks.
Okay.
At time a bill is sent, like the last money bill that came, we didn't allow it last even up to 1 week. Immediately we did the needful, followed all the procedures, and held public hearing and ensured that the bill was prepared for His Excellency's the executive assent. So we work day and night. Even it means sitting, at time we sit from morning till evening, because we are there to ensure that we satisfy the yearnings of cross-variants. And what else you expect of a legislature? As is to formulate policies for the executive to implement.
Absolutely. And finally, let's get your word for cross-variants as the governor and the 10th Assembly begin second half in this administration.
Well, I want to thank the governor of Cross-River State, Edero, so far for what he's doing for cross-variants. For the past 24 months, he has done his best. We commend his effort. We also, let us be like Oliver Twist. We are commending him, we are also asking for more. We are also asking for more, so that while we're asking for more, so we're able to balance the infrastructure deficit of what this state have lost within the past few administrations. The governor is doing excellently well.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Okonoguna, Honorable Member, Cross River State House of Assembly, and Chairman, Finance and Appropriation. Thank you for your thoughts on the show on Weekend Politics. We do hope that time to time we'll have you here to talk to us more as we just entered the second phase in this administration. Thank you very much, Okonoguna.
Thank you very much. I will always be at your service.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So this is where we draw the curtain on this particular segment. Up next is going to be a regular phase on the show. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Weekend Politics returns shortly. Stay.